Ladies and gentlemen, live from T-Briz Studios, it's the Adult Baby Show.
I'm a sweet boy.
I'll let a girl suck any part of me. I mean, honestly.
It's just in my mouth, just.
Oh, like, I'll try anything once.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Except getting to work on time.
You just ruined my day. Fuck your day.
Oh, let's get the feet involved.
It's not a nut. Maybe I shouldn't say that out loud with you.
Some people
Yeah.
are absolutely
Huh?
disgusted by me.
He ain't lying.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Adult Babies Podcast, episode 256. I am B.
Chick,
And I'm Ryan.
What's up?
we'll never get it completely smooth.
I don't
I
know
always feel
why
like
it's not smooth.
I just feel like you're the host. So, like, to
I
me,
agree with
am
you.
I like you're the leader? So I always.
I'm not the leader. You're the leader, I would say. You came in.
I don't
you
feel
took
comfortable.
the
I don't
lead.
feel comfortable taking over, being like next thing you know, I'm introducing the thing.
I look to be after you say I'm Ryan. I always look to be to start us off.
You expect him to,
and he
be the next
never.
person.
He just always disappoints.
So why would you consider me the leader of this then if
Because
I
you're the
always
funniest-
disappoint?
you're the funniest one.
That is not true at all.
Of course
that
it
is not
is.
true at all. This guy's entire life is pretty
Yeah,
funny.
he's amusing. Yeah,
just
but,
amusing.
but you're like the most established comic currently. You know what I
Stop
mean?
it.
Yeah, like it's like this
kind
is like
of
your
agree.
podcast that like we're like a
No,
part
that's
of.
that's insane. You're the most established comic.
No,
You
I
just-
mean not
you
now.
just stopped
not
doing
now.
it.
Yeah, but that's means nothing now.
and I'm not established at all. I
Yeah.
definitely
No.
think it shouldn't be me.
This is
No,
fun.
all
This is something we should talk about before the mics are on.
Yeah. Well, listen,
yeah.
that's how we start.
Yeah,
I like
I have a
being-
question actually. I've been meaning to ask you guys, and like through text. What do you at the intro when it says what's the name of the studio that it says?
Oh,
Live from the-
T-Briz Studios.
So that's
Yeah.
the guy that used to produce you.
It was his apartment.
It was his
and
apartment?
He's the one who did the intro.
Yeah.
And we kind of were like, even after he quit, we were like, I think we should just keep him anyway. He's always a part of the show and use that as our intro still.
yeah. All right, yeah.
He's got a good voice, though, right?
Yeah, it
Doesn't he
works.
have a good radio
yeah, it works.
voice?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that.
But I was like, what is he saying?
That was off for a while, by the way. I think once we got the clip, and I think once you started over here, because we got the clip. Remember that whole thing wasn't there. We dropped T-Briz Studio because Chick was adamant that we're not recording in T-Briz Studio. We drop it.
Were you sure?
Yeah, of course. You don't remember that being a big
I
problem
remember
with you?
saying that. I don't remember it actually getting dropped.
It got dropped, and then I guess when we started this again, you had the whole clip or whatever it was. The whole
Oh, I
file.
sent him the whole file. It's not okay. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, because we originally cut there was a time we cut that whole part out just because we're in our Briz studio. I don't even know what this. Yeah. Is there a name for the studio?
There is not. I had never
Okay.
thought to name my apartment.
Yeah. Well, you should consider doing that.
I will. Yeah, I'll give it some thought. But
Hmm.
if I don't mind keeping it, unless he's like, hey, that's not my studio. You
No,
can't- you can't-
I think
you
it
can't
sounds
claim-
good. It's nobody knows
Yeah.
the difference. Nobody
Doesn't
cares.
matter at all. You can just call it the Adult Baby Studio.
We could call that. Yeah, it's a floating
AB
studio.
Studio. ABS.
ABS.
Yeah.
Abs.
The opposite of what me and you have.
Any of us have? Yeah.
So what's going on this week?
I don't know. So I wanted to, you had something you wanted to talk about during the softball game, and you said we never got around to it.
Did I?
I don't know. Maybe,
No,
yeah.
you had
I had
something.
something to talk about.
Strawberry
but then
fields.
you said I had something to talk about too. But you don't want to waste it talk while the softball game.
I
was going on.
forget.
Yeah,
I wish I remembered.
yeah. But yeah, I went to the Strawberry Festival. Not
Festival.
Strawberry Fields. That's in Central Park. That's a thing. Strawberry
Yeah.
Fields is the thing.
That is a thing.
Strawberry
Yeah.
Fields forever.
Yeah, but I went to the Strawberry Festival, and first of all, it's inaccurately named. Like, there's some strawberries there for sure. On your way
Where
out.
is it, by the way?
In Mattatuck,
Okay.
in
Okay.
North Fork. I'd never been. I passed there year after year while I'm working, and it always looked. It's just like a carnival. It's just like a pop-up carnival that they have, but it's like a pretty
right.
big grounds. So
Wait, it's
they
just
put
it's
that's it.
it's a carnival?
Yeah,
It's not. I picture it as like a farm, which is strawberries.
It's an open field that just stays open all year round. I don't even think it's like it's not even like a farm. There's no crops on it. It's
Is
just
there
a field.
strawberries?
I think so. There's no strawberries
That's
on the
I'm
property.
thinking like
What are
a
you
strawberry extravaganza.
Strawberry
on the
ice
way
cream.
out, there's like a tent, and you can You can buy some
Strawberry
strawberries
shakes?
there, strawberry shortcakes. By the time I went there late, and when I left, that was all even shut down. Like none of that was even there. I didn't even have the option. They had like food stands, but they had regular carnival food. They have deep fried. this
Everything's
and
deep fried,
that.
yeah.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah. I was like, do they have deep fried strawberries? Not even that. You know,
I wonder if that would be good. Deep
probably
fried strawberries.
not.
Like,
but you know,
I would almost picture like a contest with people doing all different types of strawberries.
strawberry
what I want.
strawberry based activities.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
want a guy showing up in a wheelbarrow with the
Yeah,
biggest
stepping on
strawberry.
them or
Yeah.
whatever.
No, not
Stepping
that at
on
all.
strawberry.
I don't know.
And I
I'm
think
thinking of regular berries.
yeah. So
you usually
I
do
think
it.
they just use all the berries from the local farms on Long Island, and they sell them out of there.
Okay.
But I agree with you. I love a good strawberry. I love strawberry ice cream. It's one of my favorite ice creams. Strawberry
Me
ice
too.
cream. And nothing. No. So
Huh.
it was just, which I think I knew going into it because I've passed there and I always see the carnival and I'm like, okay, that seems like more of a carnival than anything. But
Rides?
never actually went. Yeah, rides.
Did you go on any of them?
So herein lies the story. The story. I've always been kind of like hesitant about rides. I've always had a kind of a
Forever, like back
since
to
I was a
kids?
kid. I
All
threw
right.
I threw up once on a ride like a
Gravitron or something.
Sons of Italy carnival, and yeah, just like right off I think it was like one of those swings.
Yeah.
Threw right off of the thing.
On the swings, huh?
Yeah. So, and I knew even before that, I knew I kind of had a weak stomach, but I was always like, maybe if I hold on enough, nothing will happen. But then when that happened, I was like, nope, I'm not strong enough for this.
Not my thing.
Yeah, not good. And anytime I would ever go after that, I would always avoid the rides. I remember I would go with my sisters, and then they were on those swings, and I would be like, as a kid, like little boat rides, like you go in water and you just like float around the
That's what I did
and
too.
I'm on that, and like for like every like wrap around, like, and they were close to each other. I could see them swinging, so like I would by every one lap around the water, I would see them passing because they're like every 10 revolutions
for them,
for
yeah.
them was I would meet up with them again and be like, hi. But always hit a rides. I was always played the games more. Like my mother would be nice enough to just like, like I
Feed
try to get the ball in the basket, and that would be my.
I'm right there with you, man.
Yeah.
I
Never
not
had
a
a
ride.
stomach for it.
What was the hardest ride you've ever been on?
I went on roller coasters, like a couple roller
See, I've
coasters.
never been on a roller
Like
coaster.
in Disney, I went on like Thunder Mountain and all that.
Really? Oh, all
Yeah,
right.
I think sometimes it's just very. If it hits me, it's done. I can hold on for a little while, but once I feel it, I can't unfeel the nausea.
Once it starts, it's
Yeah,
it.
and I think it's a certain movement. I don't do well with.
Is it the stomach drop thing?
I think drops are not good, but so I went skydiving years ago.
Oh. I mean, I'm more timid than you on rides, I think.
Is it the same type of feeling though with the stomach drop when you're skydiving, or you don't get that?
Not really, because you're just falling, and it's not like immediate.
It's not like a rapid fall. Like
Yeah, I don't know. It
at
wasn't
what
different.
height do you have to be? I hate to even bring this up in this story, but when you see people jumping from buildings, there's no gliding. They just boom, fucking right down.
Yeah, well, you're doing that from the air too, which is there's no frame of reference. Like
I guess you're right.
when you're jumping near a building, you have a frame of reference for the building to be like, okay, he's dropping. I can see the floors that he's
Right.
passing. I mean, not that I've ever seen it, but I would
Yeah.
imagine if you're in the air, there's nothing. I mean, you're not gliding. You're not like floating through the
It
air.
just
where you're
looks like you are floating.
Yeah, 'cause
Like
it's
I
not-
mean,
you have-
I guess you're right. It's just all frame of reference.
yeah.
I just wasn't sure at a certain height. You
Also, are you like talking about the 9/11 stuff?
well, that's kind of what
Because
I
I know where he's talking about the guy, the
the
poor
jumpers.
people.
They weren't gliding down on those.
I mean, well, when you're skydiving, you also have a parachute attached to you, so there's
But you
a
don't
little-
pop it right away.
I guess.
No,
There's
you
a
don't,
free
yeah.
fall.
But yeah, there's no.
Yeah, but
building.
you're kind of and you're like going out a little bit, but you don't know if you're going straight down or if you're going out because.
But what do you
don't have nothing.
feel?
It was incredible. It was the first leaving the plane was wild, and like I don't know that I was tandem. I was attached to a adult man.
Yeah.
That's the worst part about
And he
it.
just like pushed me out, And
Were you psyched about it? Were you like,
I was, like going. I was like, I was looking forward to doing it. Being in the plane, like you start to get like, I don't know that I'm going to be able to actually physically leave the plane. But they're strapped to you and they don't even give you a choice. Like, all right, we're going, and they just push you and you're just out. And I was fine the whole way down. And then towards the end, before he as he pulled the chute, now I can we're like talking and it's like we're having a conversation as we're just floating there. And it's kind of weird because you're strapped in really tight when you first jump, but then once the parachute's open, they can kind of release it a little bit. Like you're still attached, but so you drop a little bit. He's like, all right, I'm gonna release you now. So they release the tension and you drop a little bit. And even that was like the scariest part because I was like, am I like
that sounds scary.
Yeah, like it's like I'm making sure what if this thing wasn't tied in right? Now you let me go. Now I have nothing attached to me.
Yeah.
I just feel like the free fall takes so long. That's why I don't feel like it's a straight drop. Because I'm like, how long does it take to drop from the sky? But how high are you when you skydive?
I don't know. I have no idea.
High enough to be in a plane.
Yeah, and it was weird because when we were taking off, the plane was getting ready to go, and we had there was two guys that came running from the parking lot with parachutes in their hand, like their bags in their hand. And apparently the people that do this a lot, and they must have just got off work and I'm gonna go for a quick jump. They're certified to jump for themselves, and they just ran in the plane. They jumped in. They were the first ones out. They went not as high as we went, and they just jumped out. Got opened their parachute, got in the car and left. Like they're just after work they just wanted a quick jump.
I never
before they
understood
went home.
thrill seekers. I don't want any thrills.
You imagine that? Like, all right, guys, after the pod, we're just gonna go run to the jump. We're gonna do a jump real quick, and then be it.
Yeah.
I get home from work. I don't want to do anything. Like I don't want to go to the supermarket, let alone jump out of a plane.
See, I'm not that bad.
I'm that bad.
I like to do stuff after work, but
not
not a thrill. But I'm not really a thrill seeker either.
You're not looking for that.
I'm a chill seeker.
That life or death.
A chill seeker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I like you. I'm a chill seeker as well.
I have an undying search for chill. Yeah. Yeah.
Undying search for chill.
A lot of people say, "Oh, you have no chill." I have no thrill. Okay, it's all chill. I don't want any.
Such a hack.
Thank you.
I have all chill. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. So so you jump out, but then when we got towards the end, now the parachute's open, and the guy asked me, he goes, "Do you like roller coasters?" And I don't, but I felt like I didn't want to miss out on part of this opportunity, so I was like, "Yeah." And then he starts doing all this wacky maneuvers. Like he starts pulling the parachute, and we're doing all these dips and swings and flips.
You had a good guy.
Yeah, so I got the full experience, but as soon as I started doing that, my stomach dropped. And
Did you say something?
Did it ruin it?
Two different questions thrown at you.
Yeah, it didn't ruin it because the experience I had before was great, but I got sick and I hit the ground and I was like, I'm not feeling good. And the rest of the night I was sick to my stomach. And I was like, I shouldn't have done that. I should have just enjoyed a nice coast to the ground.
I would love. I would never go skydiving.
Never.
I
even this cancer scare does not have you thinking maybe I should try it.
No.
Okay.
Not yet. I'm not at that point. But I would like to be in the part where you're gliding in.
That's
you're
parasailing.
Just with the parachute open.
With the parachute open.
Yeah.
And then you do that thing where you hit the ground.
Go parasailing.
Yeah, parasailing is similar to that.
There was a video that came out a few weeks ago of, again, another rich businessman that went up from the beach. I don't know what type of sailing that is. But the boat was in the water and the boat takes off and there's a guy that runs from the beach, right? He's running from the beach. He's attached to this harness. And then a guy jumps on his back.
What?
Jumps on his back. And they go up together. And that moment when he unclicks the guy, something is wrong. And the guy falls to his death.
Is there a video?
There's video of it.
There's
video.
I gotta see
He
this.
fell 60 feet to his death.
I don't know.
60 feet onto water or concrete?
Water,
Beach
but
or
when you fall,
I know when you fall on water, it's like concrete, but I thought you had to go a little ways up.
60 feet is
maybe
isn't
600 feet.
Isn't a high dive?
I'm not a math guy, all right?
Yeah, it's definitely not 60, but I get it.
And maybe it's all about how you enter the water too.
Yeah.
He probably hit face
sure he was
first.
you fall
yeah.
just
He's like, what the
I think the
time to
best way
compose
is to
himself.
hold your balls and go feet first.
Yeah.
hold your balls?
Well, no, I'm being. You ever notice people who jump from far? They hold their balls.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
that
you
shit
don't
hurts. Imagine your thing popping up and hitting. Oh,
Yeah. You could probably break the bottom of your feet though too.
Yeah, that's
that's
yeah.
true. You probably got to point
Tippy
the
toes.
tippy toes in.
Yeah,
That's
you want
tough
the-
to
you want
keep
the-
like
you
that.
want the smallest amount of contact. Yeah.
I heard that if you throw, somebody said this recently. I don't know what it was. Might have been another podcast. But if you drop something right before you land in the water, then it changes the.
That makes sense. But if you have, that's really.
But you have to throw it down because if you just drop something, it's going to drop at the same speed you are. So like,
Right,
you have
it's
to,
a
like,
real,
you have to, like,
it's a
throw it
real tricky game.
right before you hit the water. You have to be like, BAM!
yeah, just to open it up.
Yeah.
You have to like, I don't know what you would drop. I don't know, you swimsuit. I don't know.
You need something that's gonna make a splash.
You need to splash before you splash.
Like, what do I have on me?
Yeah, you don't.
You imagine that
Think of your hat, your
You have
shoes.
seconds to. Yeah. Oh, a shoe maybe.
A shoe, maybe. Yeah.
Drop off a shoe.
I just feel like you
Or
throw
you
a
on
shoe
your
and it's just gonna be like plump.
No, from that. If you time it right, I don't know. I don't know where I
the
heard
other
that.
person falling. Throw just make sure they hit the water first.
It just the whole thing seems insane to me. And I did a parasailing trip, but I don't think I'll ever do that. But yeah, I do like the idea of like the parachute goes up and you're just like
Yeah.
floating,
God,
and the
what
guy's just talking to you. So like, what do you like?
Yeah. What do you like to do other than this?
Yeah.
Really, just such a relief when the parachute actually opens. You're like,
Yeah,
oh,
sure.
I know somebody who did that, and they said they didn't realize it when they were up there, but I think the guy told them that the first parachute didn't go. Like they were on like the emergency chute,
Yeah.
and like they weren't aware of it until they got down, and they were like, "Yeah, that was one of the scariest jumps I've ever had." Like the guy said.
the guy who jumps.
Yeah.
The instructor or whatever it is. Yeah.
That's why I'm like,
I wouldn't want to know until I got down. Yeah.
Neither would I.
No,
Don't
you
tell
can't,
me.
You
until-
can't tell.
I'd rather not know I'm dying. Like at this, I'd rather enjoy
Yeah.
it until my death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you think there's a weight limit on that, right?
Yeah, I think there was. Yeah.
I don't know if I would. I don't know. I bet you I'm close.
No, I think it's like pretty excessive. The
Oh,
way-
is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was not a lot.
It's
Like you had to
certainly
be
like- yeah, you
relatively
can't
thin.
I mean, listen. If a parachute can't hold you, then you better start getting to the gym or something.
But it's not.
That's a
with
real
me. It's
wake-up
'cause
call.
If I went solo, a parachute would hold me. But your first time, if you
With a
can't, you
guy,
have to
yeah.
go with somebody. So that's an extra person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the issue with the weight.
Yeah.
But I think I'm ready to do it.
It's expensive too. Like it's not.
It's like a
not
couple
cheap,
$100, right?
It was a birthday gift for me. I don't know exactly how much it was, but I remember.
I'm not ready to do it just yet, but I
No,
think
all of
I'm
a sudden
like,
now
I'm,
he's-
no,
he's
no,
like, I'm ready to do it. Now I'm not ready to
I've
do it.
always been anti doing it, and as I'm getting older, I'm like, fuck it, let's just do it once.
I would do that again before I would bungee jump. That to me is the
You
is the
bungee
crazier
jump
thing.
too?
I've never bungee jumped. No, I'm saying I would.
I
would
don't like the
skydive.
bungee jump, the snapping back.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
that's
part that seems
the
like
whole
that
thing sounds
unnatural.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
parachute. Like the
The parachute is
parachute
natural.
really is
I feel like bungee jumping has kind of gone out of
I
style.
don't see that a lot anymore.
It was big in the 90s.
Because
Yeah.
there's more issues with a cord. I feel like the guys who are bungee jumping are now just hang gliding down things.
Yeah,
like
they are,
they're
yeah.
stepped it up. The technology is better where they could just
Mm-hmm.
like throw something on their back and they're like fucking Batman down shit now.
Yeah, but imagine just being so much. You ever see those guys that just run off of buildings and they just jump and they're just holding the chute and then they just open it? I always thought it was like a very specific way the chute had to be folded, and I know that there is, but I saw this one guy was like running from the cops on the top of a building because they were trying to catch him because he landed on a building he wasn't supposed to
A
be on.
movie or real
It was
life?
a real
Oh,
video.
Jesus
This is in
Christ.
Aladdin. In Aladdin, he was jumping over the
Yeah.
and he
On the
took
magic
his,
carpet picked
yeah.
them up.
And then he would. It was also in Winnie the Pooh. All right, but go on.
But there's a real video of this guy
I gotta see that.
running around a building and then he just jumps. He's just holding his parachute. That like he had landed and collected and then jumped off another building and then opened it again.
Wow.
Yeah, but
So wait, we could jump theoretically, if I could use that word.
yeah,
We could jump.
You can use it. You're allowed.
We could jump off like a building.
Yeah,
We could have a parachute.
yeah. You just open it right away.
Yeah, you have to. As long as the wind can get under it, and it can.
You don't have time for the wind to open it before you hit the bottom.
Because I think I've told you, when I was a child, I jumped off of the top bunk of my bed with an umbrella, thinking I would float down. But the umbrella went this way, and I fell, not terribly. It was, you know, but it didn't work out the way I thought.
Yeah.
You were like that little kid who like wanted to be like Mortal Kombat and then threw a spear through his friend's throat.
Yeah, but not. But instead of spears, I was just using umbrellas to try to float down from my
Yeah.
bed.
I mean, why? It makes sense.
You
know what
see
I
it
mean?
on a. Well, that's why I brought up Winnie the Pooh. Is from a Winnie the Pooh thing.
Yeah.
He like jumps from a honey tree or something like that.
I remember as a kid, I would put I put a blanket around my neck and I jumped on the couch and I was trying to convince myself I'm like I think I flew for a little bit and you try to
It's
tell
so easy to convince yourself when you're a kid.
yeah, and I told my mother, I'm like, no, I think I actually did. I think I actually flew for a little
really
bit
did it.
because I had a blanket on my neck.
That's hilarious. I once told a kid that I was about to build a time machine.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I need my 1.21 gigawatts. What the hell? It was when I watched
Sure.
Back to the Future, and I said it in a like I was honest. Like I was like, I want to build this time machine.
Yeah.
Little kid, right? And then it was like a kid I saw like over the summer. That's it. And then the next summer, he was like, "Yo, who was that idiot that thought he was gonna build a time machine?" And I was like, "Oh, that was that guy over there." I just totally blamed some other kid, but it was me.
He knew it was you. He was hoping you admit it.
Yeah, maybe.
The thing about time machines that always drove me nuts is like, obviously, if there was a time machine and we can go into the future or the past, we would already know that because we would
Yes.
have gone back and invented the time machine. If a time machine was ever possible, we would always have had time machines.
Of course.
Do you guys believe in like multi-universe? Like you could like multi-universe,
multiverses?
multiverses?
Yeah, I think it's certainly possible. But actually, if I ever get on floating podcast,
You might not have a choice.
A movie idea that I have is based on the multiverse existing, which is I love the idea of it.
I like the idea if it's well done. Some of them get too confusing. Like I mean, the whole thing in itself is confusing, but you've seen like it was like Inception was kind of like that, right? Was it a multi or
I thought that was about a
Little
dream.
dreams, yeah.
whatever? But there's
But
been movies that tried to
everything
do
everywhere all at once is about a multiverse. Yeah,
that's a multiverse.
which was similar to my idea, but not exactly.
So a multiverse is that there's
simultaneous
all right.
universes
But-
going on.
Do they mean we could hop through it?
Well, that's the premise. A lot of these movies is that we have the ability to, and the premise of my movie is that we have the ability to hop
Like
into
a black
different-
hole sort of situation?
And
Yeah.
there's in
So-
theory scientists who believe this stuff.
and that there's like an infinite amount of multiverses, and like every decision, every split in decision that humans make creates another multiverse. So like there's an literally an infinity amount of multiverses that are some are similar to this with like one slight thing is different. It's like the world is the universe is the exact same, except for I'm sitting there and he's the producer of this podcast because whatever happened in life.
Well,
that's
an insane.
that's the most insane
So
version
there's like
of the multiverse you can imagine.
there's a possibility with that theory that when Chick asked me he wants to do a podcast, I could have been like no.
Yeah,
And my
been
life
much
could have been so
happier.
much easier.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my God.
yeah. I think about it a lot when I'm decorating a Christmas tree
Mm-hmm.
because I like to think of the theory that like there's a universe where this ornament goes on this branch, and then there's an ornament where this goes on this branch, but it's like this tree is the exact same except this one ornament is over here, and then
Something as simple as
another.
that.
It's like every universe,
There's a
has-
universe right now where I
and
don't do
that's
this.
just my universe.
I just
that's
didn't do that in another universe.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
He was it back.
There's a universe where you're completely healthy.
There's probably
It's far away.
every universe.
There's a universe where I'm like successful, maybe.
Yeah.
No,
Nah.
Let's not go that far.
Him being successful and me being healthy.
Yeah.
That's I can't. I can get in on the multiverse. I can't get in on that. Me and him
it's-
having it
yeah.
all together.
But there's actual like theories and scientists who really like believe this stuff. A lot of those are like it's all a lot of it gets alien involved. Like it's in that genre of thought, I guess.
I like to think that
It's
possible.
interesting
Yeah.
to me.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like that.
I hope that's the case. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, all right. So what does that mean in the long run for us?
For our life, nothing.
If I
Yeah.
die, can I pop to another multiverse?
You might be able to review yourself and see how long you lived in another multiverse. Maybe if heaven is a thing, maybe
that
you
would
can
be
look. You can see your all different versions of yourself. But there's versions of you that never. There's versions of multiverses that you never existed. There's ones where you died when you were a child. There's There's ones where you lived a long, healthy life.
Jesus.
You're married with children right now.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
I always get fascinated with just the infinity of space in general. So that whole anything that when you start getting to infinity, it's mind boggling.
As a child, would be in school and like not being able to pay attention in class because I would just think about where does it end? Like, I don't understand. Like, is there a wall that surrounds us? But if so, what's behind the wall? Like, it just doesn't.
That was
this
me
doesn't
as a
make any
kid. I
sense.
was the exact same way.
How can it go on forever? It doesn't make any sense. And then I was like, I can what? And like, God doesn't exist and nothing matters, and I'm not going to think about it another day in my life. Because it doesn't matter. Nothing. Like, just be cool, be chill.
Yeah, just be chill. That's
be a
it.
cool person. Be nice to people, and then just at the end of your life, hopefully everything works out.
Can I tell you that's exactly how I looked at it? I said, I'm done with all the religious stuff. I said, what's wrong with just somebody asked me, what do you believe in? I said, how about I just believe in being a good person? Or if you want to be an asshole, be an ass. But, that in theory,
that's like Satanism and loosely based. Like, it's not evil. Like, Satanism is not like an evil thing, but it's like all about you just doing whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, you don't think about consequences of other people.
The ripple effect.
Yeah. But I went to start a religion called Bagari, which just stands for be a good and respectful individual. And then just get together on Sundays because I just want a community of people. Like, I grew up in church because like my grandfather was a minister. And I was like, I like the idea of like a community of people that like have similar point of view and like you can kind of like be there for each other. People need help. There's like a people that you can reach out to. But I don't like all the religion around it.
Yeah.
So I just want to have like a
Too
group
many
of people.
rules in the actual religion that are ridiculous.
Yeah. There's actually a church not far from here. And church is like a loose word, but it's a group of people who kind of there's no talk about God. It's just they talk about like how difficult life is and how to be patient with life, and it's like I could be part of that.
I could be part of that too.
Yeah, so I just want to like have a group of people like how crazy you sound. Like, I want to start a religion. You know what I mean? That doesn't.
Well, you sound like a cult when you say that.
Nobody
Yeah.
sounds good saying they want to start a religion.
Yeah, but just like I want to like a music based, like just we talk about good music and like good art. Like it was just an art, like a religion based on good art.
Sounds like you just want to start another podcast.
Yeah, yeah. But one of my favorite movies ever, and it's actually not one. It's not one of my favorite movies. It's one of my favorite premises of a movie was Sliding Doors.
I love that's when they get on the bus or don't get on the bus.
Train, yeah.
The train. I'm sorry.
So that's I don't think I've ever seen that.
So the
That's a
movie
very
itself
good
is just
idea.
like it's just like a romantic comedy.
So, yeah, it's
And
a rom-com.
more romantic than comedy, but it's like a sweet movie. But I love that it's her life splits up in two different directions. Like one version of her. Did I talk about this in this podcast recently?
Nope.
Not that I remember. By the way, everything I talk about now, I'm like, did I talk to you about this?
Well, yeah. Well, now it's gonna be like floating. Did
Yeah.
I say this on floating on this podcast? I want to have a conversation about floating because I've been listening and I have notes.
Oh, I do too.
I just love the idea. So she, in one version, she makes the train, and then it follows her life if she made the train. And then the other version is she misses the train, and it's her life when she misses the
Doesn't
train.
the husband someone cheat, and that's the whole
So
thing.
in one of them, she catches a husband cheating, and the
she
other one she
catches the
doesn't.
train,
And then
she
it just-
catches
Caught
him.
the train.
yeah, it just follows her, and then it splits. It goes back and forth to showing you how her life would have changed based on what. So I wish that was like a television series where just every episode was just a different
different
version
person or
of
something
that,
like that.
what
That's
happens.
Because
like
it's every decision you make there's a domino effect to
Yeah,
everything.
like if I didn't do this, well, if I didn't go to this party, I wouldn't have met this person. I wouldn't be, like
I always think about that. I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever I'm doing is probably the wrong choice
Yeah.
because I don't know where I'm headed here.
Yeah, I feel like I made one bad decision a while ago.
One?
And
No.
my point is that the
Yeah,
one
yeah.
bad decision led to a ripple effect of many bad decisions.
sure, that's all.
And
that
that's
can
how
happen,
I
yeah.
feel it happened. Like if I want to go back to the original question or decision I made that set
Yeah.
my life in this downward spiral.
Yeah. Yeah, I think about the night that I met Cheryl. I do no, and like I wouldn't go back and change anything. I've loved my life. Up
Where'd
until
you
now.
meet her?
Just at a house party. But my decision to go to this house party was last minute. And I only went to avoid plans with another friend who wanted to hang out, and I didn't want to hang out with him. And I hate lying to people, so I told him like, no, I'm going. Like I had this invitation to this party, and I didn't want to go because I was like, I had recently just broken up with a girlfriend. And I was kind of just wanted a whole place. So I don't want to play Snood. You remember Snood?
Yeah.
Yeah. And but another buddy of mine called, and he's like, oh, and he lived close. He's like, oh, I want to get together, and I was like, nah, I'm going to this party. But I already lied, and he lived so close, so like I knew I had to leave the house because I didn't want to drive by and see my car there. So I just went to this party, and I'm like, I'll just go for a half hour, 40 minutes, so I can say I went to the party. And as soon as I walked in, I met Cheryl, and my life changed from that point on. So I was like, just trying to avoid plans with this guy.
Oh, wow.
I
That's
changed
funny.
my life.
You met her like right away, like
As soon as I walked in, she looked at me and she goes, "My name's Cheryl, and I'm single." And it was
that's what she said.
yeah.
Jesus.
But-
No woman has ever said that. To me.
Well, it was because she had just been in a conversation with my cousin, who she has known for her whole life, about being single, how she's had single for the first time forever. So she was really saying it for his benefit to be like, because they had just talked about her being single. But I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's great. And it was just,
And you hit it off.
Yeah, we hit it off from that point.
I've
on.
never had a girl do that to me either, so.
No.
Yeah.
You have much different history with women than us.
Yeah, you do.
I had my good time, but it was long ago and it's been over for a while.
How much effort? I want to get back to this strawberry festival because I have more to say about this.
Oh, yeah,
But-
we totally
but,
derailed that.
But I was actually thinking about this today. It's funny because you think about like what are we going to talk about tonight, and how much effort do you guys put into like meeting women like currently?
Currently,
0?
I will say I'm not quite at 0, but I'm not much above it. Maybe 5% of my,
Really?
Yeah.
So no dating apps. There's
No dating apps, but there's this one chick that I've been interested in that I kind of try and talk to, but it's, I'm not very aggressive anymore. I used to be a little more, but now I'm like, I don't feel it. I don't know. It's more of my own insecurities.
It can take it out of you, man. The downsides of dating can really take it out of you to put the effort in to continue doing it. Yeah.
It's so far away from anything that I'm interested in doing right now that I stay away from it.
Going on dates or being in a relationship, which one?
all of it.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I'm not anti that. I just feel like I have other, I'm like a fucking mess in my own right. And I feel like I need to clean myself up a little bit before I can even entertain other people.
That's funny, and it's funny to say like people are better than other people, or people are worth other things. But it's good to be in a position where you feel like I want to meet somebody who's worth being with, and I feel like I'm not in a place that's I'm worth it for them to meet.
Yeah.
So like you want to be the best version of you to meet somebody because you want to
Exactly.
meet the best that you can get.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's
it's like
it,
you-
100%.
Yeah. So like, why would I want to meet somebody now? Like the person I get now is somebody that I feel like I would want to be. I want more than, which like like I said, it's shitty. Like in the theory, like everybody,
it's true,
everybody's
though.
just as good as everybody
Listen,
else.
the
But
last couple chicks I've hung out with have had a lot of issues, and I
Right.
realize that's because I have a lot of issues, and
Yeah, like,
you
that's
get what
what-
you like. You're attracting what you are almost. So
100%.
it's
you
like-
find out
exactly.
what-
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's like
I-
they deserve love, but they deserve love with somebody who's on the same level that they're on.
Yeah.
Like I hope that they get their life together one day and they meet somebody who's. In
I
the
told
be-
you, I thought I was somebody's rock bottom.
Yeah, I think-
and they're
I think-
actually
I
on the
think-
way back up. So it's
Yeah.
like,
So,
I think
yeah,
a
you
few
saw-
of them have gotten their act together. Yeah.
Did you go on a date recently? Or was that just part of a joke? Huh? No.
oh, I know what joke is.
No.
Well, what was the joke? The
Minors?
oil can
No,
hands
yeah,
or
yeah,
something, whatever I said. Not
I,
oil
want,
can.
I always want to say miner's hands, but that's a whole different
No,
sentence.
that was
yeah.
no. I did not go out with a
rigging,
minor.
oil rigging hands.
Oil
Is-
rigging hands.
yeah.
No. So that was I was out one night with a friend, and it was more of a conversation with a
Okay.
lady
All right.
that
I got
I
you.
was like, oh, I could turn this.
I
into
also
a
reach
quick-
way out of my
I feel you.
league
I've done that before.
and strike out a lot.
You reach out of your league.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because what I like, I'm shallow. To
Not
an
that far
extent.
of a reach. He goes,
But what I'm saying, like I know what I should be getting, and I know what I want to get, and it's never really the same. And yeah,
Yeah.
I reach way above my my grade.
Yeah, shoot for the stars. You know, you might
That's
find a
the way I
woman another rock bottom. You know,
Not
It's-
even that. Or somebody who's like into chubby. Like, you remember the Seinfeld when George is
Yeah.
Marissa Tomei? I love Marissa Tomei, and that's like,
Yeah, but Chick, you have a
That's-
Chick has a great personality, and I think you're the kind of guy I feel like any girl can grow to love.
right.
that's why I reach for the stars. I won't.
It's all about getting in the door. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's what I'm hoping one day it happens, maybe.
I think it will. You seem to really want it to happen too, and
I don't want kids. I don't want to get married, but I wouldn't mind, a significant other who wants the same, who's like
Did you guys do a thing on the show once? You're trying to find chick.
find Chick a chick.
Find chick a chick.
yeah, and the problem was I was swiping right on everybody. I get nothing. I don't know. I'm not good at profiles.
Here's the problem with guys like us. I'm not including you on this. We're better in person.
Yeah.
Much better in
Yeah, so
person.
am I. Yeah.
We're not people that
Yeah, I've never really loved the dating sites, the apps. They're not great.
you don't. If you saw me or Chick on like a photo on an app, you're like, all right. But if you were to get into a conversation with either one of us,
Like,
I mean,
you have something to say. A lot of people don't have anything to say. Like I hear conversations with, I talk to my sisters and stuff on dates, and I talk to people who go on dates with men, and it's like, it doesn't take a lot to stand out.
No.
If you have conversations, if you ask questions about them, like ask a
Oh,
follow-up
forget it.
question. Much a woman loves just a follow-up question on they say something and you just ask something more about that. If you have a general interest in what they have to say.
I was out a few weeks ago, and I saw a first date. And it was a clear first date, and I was by myself, and I'm watching this guy just destroy everything because the woman seemed into him from the get-go.
Yeah.
And it was he just talked about himself the entire time. There was nothing. There was not even interesting stuff,
Yeah.
It was
I work out 4 days a week.
It was just so bad, and it just didn't make him look good. And you can
You
see
have no sense of humor, man.
you could see that this woman was losing interest. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize when people are losing interest in them. Okay?
Self-awareness is something that a lot of people lack.
Yeah.
Big time. So I saw this happening, and it was to the point where it was frustrating me. And I wasn't even on this date. I wanted the guy to go to the bathroom so I could tell. I didn't know who. I had this fantasy in my mind that either the woman would go to the bathroom or the guy would go to the bathroom, and I would step in if it was the guy and be like, "Hey, let her talk." Just let her talk.
Yeah.
And he'd probably
That's so
like
funny,
punch
yeah.
me. Or if the guy went to the bathroom, I'm like, geez, not really getting a lot of words in here.
Yeah.
Just something.
That's
I
great.
want to.
I wish that happened. I
Oh,
would have loved
God.
to have heard that story.
I wish, but it just was that's, and I see it all the time, and then I go home by myself. I'm like, I would crush that date.
yeah.
I would crush that date.
I'm like the guy who's like, put me in, coach, and I'll knock him dead.
Yeah.
But I don't get in. I don't get tagged in a lot.
Yeah.
Always
I
on
get
the
the
bench.
look where it's like, he might be fun, or it's like, oh, great guy, great personality, but I really wish I had that 6'2" guy with a six-pack and no personality.
And the fear is always that, to me, you can impress them at first. Like once you get the first date, they can like, oh man, maybe he's not somebody I thought was super attractive at the beginning, but he's really nice, he's funny. But then it's like, okay, but is that going to wear off? Like, you're going to eventually want the hot guy that's got a nice body.
Exactly.
You know what I mean, like how long do you get? With
I also like to think that, for me personally, I got the personality, and I like to think I know a thing or two in the bedroom. So, like, give me the opportunity, and I'm gonna make you happy.
yeah.
He is.
It's just a matter of getting the opportunity,
Yeah.
and I don't get the opportunity as much as I'd like to.
You should just that should be in your profile.
It should be.
Just give me a shot.
Give me a shot.
Put me in, coach.
Oh my god! This is what, I wanted to make a video because on one of the apps you could put a short video. So I was gonna make a video where it was like an infomercial for mediocre looking guys. And I was gonna be like, are you tired of hot guys disappointing you? Try a mediocre guy. Like, and just,
That'd be
and like
funny.
just put you know what I mean?
You
give
do
me,
well.
Give me a shot.
You do well though.
Yeah, because you're also witty, and you have a better profile than us.
Yeah, I never did great on dating sites. Like, I'm seeing a girl now that I met on an app, so some success, but
I feel like there's more success in the short time we've been like friends. I feel like there's been success. And I'll leave it at that. But me and Chick don't have that.
Yeah.
You know? And
Mine's
that's fine.
usually like the drug addict who's like,
I know, but I think that you don't go for the right people.
Listen,
That's matters. And
sometimes
really,
they
people
got to
pick up-
take the layups as they're given.
But and you know, everybody picks up on an energy or desperation. It's like you really got to be in the right spot. Like,
Yeah.
The moment you kind of don't think about it, that's the moment. When I met the girl that that I get along with a lot now. I was
That right there, the fact that you said I met a girl that I get along with right now. It's like if me and Chick met a girl that we get along with right now, we'd be talking about it a lot.
But I was
good
kind
for
of
you.
like I
that
was
happen?
kind of passively on the app. Like I wasn't giving it a lot of attention. I would pick it up and like like not really giving a lot of attention. I feel like that's when it happens. When
Yeah.
you're desperate and like, oh, I need, and like it's too much like in the
Just
inbox.
swiping right on everybody.
Yeah,
I promise you that doesn't work.
I was never like the hard
Yeah,
swipe
no,
rights.
me
And then
Yeah.
everyone that I got a match with was some fucking orca creature. It was fucking awful.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. I am an
That's
asshole.
sweet,
a little
sweet
bit.
to them. Yeah. I just feel like I don't know. They deserve love. Everybody deserves love.
Everybody deserves love.
And where are you
but-
going to go with the app? Like, they're taking their shot. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like
everybody, listen, I respect everybody.
yeah, like I've swiped right on women. I'm like, I don't want to insult you, but if you're down, like I'd like to meet you.
If you're down, I'm
Like,
down.
you know what I mean? Like
I
if
love how
if
it's, I don't want to insult you for swiping.
Yeah, like if for swiping right on you. You know what I mean, like for matching, for making you think I have a chance with you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, like because sometimes I get it like I see. I don't usually pay for the apps, but occasionally you could see the women who liked you first.
I always
That was the other thing. I'm too cheap. I never wanted to pay
yeah.
for
I never
them.
paid.
So
for
sometimes
it.
you would see a woman who liked you, and I was like, this, not for me, but good luck. And, it's I don't ever wanted to be see a girl who I swipe right. I'm like, and they look at me like, really? You think you had a shot at me? And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe you,
On
maybe,
a good day,
maybe,
you never might.
yeah, maybe you had a lot of bad experience with hot guys, and you wanted to try a mediocre guy. So I wanted to let you know I'm here. I'm here for that. So, I've been seeing. So I went with this girl to
the strawberry
to
festival.
the strawberry festival. Yeah,
With no
Was she as
strawberry.
disappointed in the strawberry field as we?
she'd been before. And I don't think either one of us was disappointed. We actually wanted to go. We knew there was a carnival. So that's what we wanted to go for. We wanted to go for the carnival. I hadn't been on a Ferris wheel in a long time, so we were going to go on the Ferris wheel. That was
Didn't
that
upset
was
your stomach though.
that was the goal. Ferris wheel, I
turning
felt
up
like
and down,
Ferris wheel, I felt like I could handle. So, but she started making references to some of the rides. I wanted to go on them, and we were going to get a bracelet to go on the rides. And I started being like, what am I going to do here? Am I going to be like the I don't go on rides guy? On this, we kind of, it's new. You don't want to be like the I don't go on rides.
Then you sound like a stick in the mud.
I like to be the guy who's like,
The yes man.
Yeah, it's fun. Let's do this. But my mom, the ride was the Ferris wheel we were going to go on. But now she's like, look at the Gravitron. And I've avoided the Gravitron my whole life. I've never been on it. My sisters used to love going on. I'm like, that looks like death to me. I'm never going on that thing. And I avoided it for 42 years of my life. So
Did you have to go on them?
Well, let's get to it.
He doesn't like a story.
No, I do too, but I'm waiting. I want to hear this.
So we're looking around. There's one ride that was nuts, and I'm like, absolutely, we'll never ever go on that thing. It was like the Hulk, and it was like the Hulk hand, and it takes you around, and it just flips you around all sorts of different directions.
No way.
And I'm like, I wouldn't know if I'm upside down, and she seemed like, no, maybe.
Are you
that's
being
not
honest
enough.
with her with that stuff? You're like, see, I wouldn't do that.
I was like, I'm not going on that. And I hinted it to her that I'm not super into rides, but not that I vowed 20 years ago that I'm never going on a ride. Actually, I went on to Universal 5 years ago, which I'm not a big I'm not crazy into Universal, but I went to Universal and I went on a bunch of rides there. But a lot of those rides are the virtual ones.
yeah.
So you just sit in the chair and they move and you're looking at a screen, but you still can I still got nauseous on those rides.
I had a big problem.
You feel
with
like
those
you
rides.
feel like you're on them.
Yeah.
So, but those I liked because I could just go on it and then I could just not look at the screen and I would just
close your eyes,
I would
kind
just
of.
You
look.
can,
I would
you
just
can
look
get
down.
away from that.
I would just look at the railing and just be like, "Oh my god!" I would just partake in it. I would act like I was really enjoying it. And people were like, "We haven't gone yet," and I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah. The strobe lights used to mess me up with that because I was afraid of strobe lights.
You were
So what,
afraid
you
of
gonna
you
get
know,
a seizure?
Seizure stuff, yeah. I never had a seizure.
I
either.
like all. I was a Gravitron fan and that, but like,
He
I don't
checked out.
like.
When I wouldn't answer his question, he picked up his phone. He's like, if he's not going to talk,
He's
No,
done.
no, no,
By the
no.
way,
If
he's
he's not
not
gonna
going to
tell
let
me-
you finish. He's still stuck on Gravitron.
Oh no, I'm not.
Go on.
well, tell me about your Gravitron.
He's like a goldfish.
You
He
like
really
the
is.
Gravitron. You've been on.
Did you go on your
You
Gravitron?
gravitate towards the Gravitron.
I love the Gravitron. That's
Yeah.
why I just wanted to see if he did it.
Because his life is spinning out of control. So
He feels like it's,
he's
in,
like, yeah,
it's
this
in
is-
place on the
this is
Gravitron.
normal.
It's like
This seems
it's,
normal to me.
so I thought we were gonna play some games. We were gonna go on the Ferris wheel, and she's like, "Oh, let's buy the bracelet for the rides." And I'm like, "For why? How many times are we gonna go on the Ferris wheel?" I'm like, "We don't need the bracelets."
Yeah.
So we pointed out one ride that was like it's like a car. It's like a track. It's got like 8, maybe like 12 cars on it, and it just kind of goes around in a circle, but like
Right.
fast and like loops and spins on an angle. You know that thing?
I
don't
know that thing.
So I'm like, all right.
Adventureland
I
had the Music Express.
yeah,
And-
this
and it
was something
some-
about music. This was like,
Wasn't the music on? Well, never mind. I don't even want to say it.
He, what?
so yeah, there's like loud music playing. That's like, and you spin around. Actually,
Yeah.
I took video of us on.
Yeah,
it.
I know that
Yeah.
sort of ride.
So I'm like, I think I can handle that. So I'm like, well, let's do that. So I got on that. I'm like, that's pretty fun. All right, I can do that. So we did that and the Ferris wheel, and we did the chairs, which I think
When you're on the chairs that spin as
yeah,
they're
so
also moving around.
They're all on chains, and you're all sitting in there, and and you get on the thing. Oh, but the first the biggest problem I had with this whole night, I was waiting on the first ride, and I was already like anxious because I wanted to get a ride. I'm like, I'm anxious to get on the ride and off to see if I got sick. I want to get it. I want to get it over with. I'm like, let me get on this fucking thing so I can see if I'm going to get sick or not. But then there's like no line. There's no organization to these makeshift carnivals. Like,
Well, that's why I always get nervous about carnival rides because I don't trust
yeah, they
carnies putting them together.
They just pop up. They, a couple. All right, the ride's up. Like you want a permanent
Exactly.
structure that they're checking once a week, not that they're moving once a week.
Yeah, they can't even keep their teeth in their
Yeah,
face, and they're gonna.
And it's like the carnies is like that's an accurate stereotype for a lot.
It's
of
a
these
lifestyle,
people.
yeah.
Yeah. So there's just a line, and it's just like people making up where the line goes. At one point, it goes behind a dumpster, and I'm like, whose idea was it when they were like, oh, I'm gonna get on line next to go like next to the dumpster and continue this thing? And we tried to like straighten it out, but people were just trying to cut us because we were
Right.
trying to like not go
you
around the
can't
dumpster.
be the norm, like the smart person in a line like that. There's no common sense involved.
Yeah.
Just go with the flow.
So like you would think you were just like a rope to just like, all right, yeah, just rope back and forth.
There was no ropes at all.
No
It was-
rope.
oh.
It's literally like the entrance to the thing, and then it was just, and then people had to walk through the line to get to where they wanted to go. And
Let me
like,
tell you, if you can't get like a rope together,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna trust your ride.
I
That should be like,
Yeah, I know.
what are we doing?
Yeah, you're right.
We're gonna. They're cutting corners already.
yeah, you're
so
right. So, but I'm getting annoyed because there's people cut. I see people cutting constantly. They're just people walking
you
up.
don't like cutting.
No, do not care for
I don't
cutting.
like
Now,
it
this
either.
is a girl that you're relatively new in your life, right?
Yeah.
How do you react when you're angry?
So that's it. I'm trying to be like it's no big deal, guy. You know what I mean? yeah, it's just having fun. As long
I'm
as we're-
carefree.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
But
as long
inside
as long as we're
you're
together,
seething.
you know, all I care is about that we're here together. We'll get there when we get there. You know what I mean? But in my mind, I'm just like constantly clocking every single person. I'm like, they're not supposed to be there. Like, and like, or a whole group comes up and they know 2 people online, so they just start talking, and then they just add themselves to the group. I'm like, that's not how the line
I
works.
hate
You can't
those
just
people,
do that.
But I've also done that.
I'm
so.
so guilty of that.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever done it. Maybe I have.
You're not a piece of shit like us.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I have. But it's going around, and I'm like, I swear to God, if somebody tries to get in front of me, I'm saying something. Like I'm not going to just stand by. So these 2 young girls, like they literally just like they're talking together, like they're on their phones, like trying to act like, oh, where is this going? And like they think they're just like blend into the
Blend
crowd.
in, I love it.
And like, next thing you know, they're on the crowd. So like, and we're almost there. So there's these 2 girls. They're just on their phone, and like they start working their way into the line. And I stop. I'm like, oh, you guys lost? I'm like, yeah, the line goes all the way around back. The beginner line's all the way over there. So I think you might be in the
for
wrong
you.
spot. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I go, well, if you're so sorry, go over there by the back of the line, and they just drop their head and they walk back there. These 2 young girls. Like I wish it was like more grown up people. Like I feel like I was bullying 2 young girls.
No.
But I'm like,
no. They need to learn at a young age that there's consequences.
Yeah.
You don't just cut a line because we all see what you're doing.
Yeah.
We've all, well, me and Chick have been, we've cut some lines, all right?
And if everybody else who everybody cut in front of me that I wasn't around, I'm not gonna run up to the line and be like, hey, you're in the wrong spot. Get in the back there. That's not my job. But if you're gonna cut me, no, that's
Well,
not
that's your
happening.
personal space.
Yeah. So, and what I thought was funny because she said, she goes, oh, I'm sorry, and then stayed there. She goes, I stayed. I'm like, well, if you're sorry, move, go in the back of the line.
Well,
And
they stayed.
When she first said, she was like, oh, she looked like she was confused, like she couldn't believe somebody called her out.
playing the
Nobody's
game.
ever
And then
questioned
she goes,
her.
oh, I'm sorry, and then she just stayed there. And I
That's
took a
I'm
beat,
not
and I
going to
was,
listen to him unless he.
and I took
goes.
a beat, and I was like, well, if you're sorry, I'm like, here's an opportunity to make up for it. You know, go in the back of the line.
Well, behind me.
Yeah, I didn't really, let them deal with it. But I was really trying to like walk that line of like not being this guy to, you know.
How do you think you did though? You think
I kept it together, you know. I think she saw that I was like getting annoyed, and I'm not really that person. Like I don't hold it. I'm not gonna be the person who talks about wrestling. Like, can you believe these kids every try? Like,
can't get over it.
I said, I think like on the Ziegler episode, I was like, I bring things up and I drop them. And like I'll confront somebody and then I'll drop them. I don't like to harp on it and talk about it all night. Be like, and then they come and then they think they're gonna come around here and everything. And I made
Funny because
jokes.
Ziegler likes to harp on it.
Uh-huh. I brought it up a couple times like in joke fashion. I'm like,
Yeah.
You know, I would make jokes about it, but not that I'm angry about it. It's just holding on to anger to me is one of the most unattractive qualities in a person. When you're just like you're with this person all the time. Like if there's gonna be somebody with a lot, they don't like. I got to be the person that you bring all the shit you're angry about with. I should be the person where you bring all the stuff that you are happy about.
I 100% agree.
You know what I mean?
I don't like the angry stuff.
Yeah.
I like it. There's a time and a place. There's a time where we can
You
bitch
need
about
somebody to vent to. Though.
Exactly. And you got to be like, hey, listen, can I vent for a little bit? And then, like, they know, like, and they're more willing to accept your venting if they know, like here we go.
If it's
again
all
with
the
this guy.
time, it becomes
a work. Like, I got to deal with your attitude constantly.
You don't want to be a drain on people.
That's exactly what it is.
And
You don't wanna be a drain.
You try not. And listen, I feel like sometimes I could do that. We all have times in our life where we're like, I need to let some stuff off my chest to people. Recently, more times in the last couple weeks, I've had that a lot. But like, I don't want it to be a part of my personality.
Yeah, right.
Like, all right, every time we talk to this guy, it's gloom and doom.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I get it.
You better work on that this year, B.
Listen, it's been
You have
freaking
justified.
weeks.
You have justified.
Yeah, I'm adjusting. I'm adjusting to my
No,
new life.
you have a justified.
I've been
reason.
telling Michael, you've been very snippy lately.
But like anybody who knows what you're going through or is close to you should be understanding. But like,
I know.
all right,
People
you know
are.
what I mean, yeah, be like
People
give
are.
him some time, give him some space.
And I'll be
to
fine.
vent.
I'll be fine in a little bit. I feel like I've been extra like needy with people.
Yeah.
Like there's like a good friend in my life where like I reach out a lot to. And I feel like I'm becoming a burden.
Yeah,
But you know.
even sometimes just saying that, be like, hey, I really appreciate you, like being there for me.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm a burden. I know that I'll always be. You know,
This
it's-
person likes to also like help out too, so that
Okay, that's
also
nice.
helps, so.
Yeah. So
Thank you there.
to hang up this phone, as they say, she was like, I'm going on the Gravitron. She loved the Gravitron. She couldn't wait to go on the Gravitron. I'm like, you know what? I don't know. I'm like, I'll wait online with you. And I kind of had already told her, I'm like, I don't love the idea of being on the Gravitron. I don't know. And it wasn't called the Gravitron. It was something else. But that's the one where like you go up against the wall, right?
Yeah.
And it spins and it just like
spins.
It's still the Gravitron.
yeah. It's always will always be the Gravitron.
And it's got music and blasting
So
lights.
I'm online. I'm like, I'll wait online with you. I said, but I don't know. I don't think I'm getting on that thing. So, but the very last minute, she's gone. I'm like, what am I gonna let her go on this thing alone, like with a bunch of strangers? So I just went on the thing, the first time ever in my life. And I'm like, this was like, I was super like, I'm against the thing. I'm like, I just let this thing go over. I just wanted this thing passed. But like, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I'm the same way with rides,
Yeah.
but the Gravitron, I don't know if I do it today, but like I'll never forget years ago I did the Gravitron, and I was so nervous to get on there, and then I got on there, and it was intimidating. Like the guy that ran it was like walking up the steps and stuff while it was spinning, and it was like wasn't bad at all.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed it.
Gravitron is less like on your stomach than like
It's just
the pirate ship that goes up and
Right.
like
Yeah.
those
there's,
things
there's
are
constant
worse.
drops.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is just like kind of messes with your head a little bit to be like, it
You're
makes you
just stuck.
it makes your body confused as to what's even
Yeah.
happening. Yeah. Really,
I
it's,
think
a-
I'd
such-
be a-
it's a metaphor for life, though, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like
It
you
is.
avoided Gravitron your whole life, and you get on it, it's not that bad. Like how many times in life do you avoid doing something because you just haven't done it before, and you're like a little scared, and then you do it, and you're like, well, that wasn't that bad. Like why did I
Yeah.
avoid
What
doing
else?
it?
Almost everything.
What
Like-
else am I missing out on?
Like really, like progress truly does live in being like fighting through those fears. And
You got to be a yes man. I'm working on it. To still say no to things, but we got to be a yes guy.
yeah.
I heard the guy talk about like there was a time when I was dealing with like crazy anxiety with stuff, like just like walking into places. Like I would get just so much anxiety about it. And like I heard a guy talk about like dealing with that stuff, and it's like I forget what he called them, but like these micro moments of like just be brave in little tiny moments like that.
Baby steps, man.
Yeah. It's basically baby steps, and it's like I don't know, whatever. I don't remember the whole quote, but it like helped me at the time because I was like, I would have panic attacks going anywhere. You did too. I know you. This guy didn't leave his house for a
couldn't
while.
go to school. I couldn't go to a Best Buy.
Wow.
Dr. Leo Marvin, baby.
Is that the doctor that helped you?
From what about Bob?
Oh,
Baby
yeah.
steps. I'm saying.
yeah.
It's
It's all
true.
about baby
It's
steps.
very true.
Yeah, man.
But
that's-
it's small stuff
if
like
you're
that.
thinking about too much about in the
If you're
future,
thinking
it's
about-
the big stuff,
Yeah, you're never gonna get there. If you start one little thing at a time, it makes everything a lot
it's
easier.
like goals too, man. I never really applied that, but it makes so much sense. If you want a big goal, you have to make a ton of little goals that what you need to do to get to that big goal.
Yeah.
And you just start chipping away at those things rather than like
And
you
your
can't just
confidence
be-
builds. The whole
Yeah.
thing is like a domino effect too.
It is.
I get super nervous about any change. Like makes me nervous. I remember like my job. I worked at this one job for 20 years, and they got bought by a bigger company. And like we were making the transfer over to this new warehouse and this new location. I was so like anxious about like I don't know how to where do I go and where do I pick up my truck and where's my equipment and like where do I punch in? And it's like okay, you learn all that stuff the first half hour. After
Yeah.
that, it's like
You're
it's
fine.
just the same. It's the same job.
But isn't it feel so big in the moment?
Huge. Even like the first week, I was still kind of like anxious. Like I'm not 100% comfortable here. And now I've been working there for a few years. And I can't imagine like why was I worried about this?
I know.
Yeah.
And that's always the case. It's always the case in
Yeah.
in most things. I'm sure there's other, but like in most things, you know.
If you come out of something, like the only time it would be bad is if you died doing the thing.
Yeah.
Because like
Yeah.
that's the only thing, or if you got severely injured. But even then, like you can sometimes look back on something like, yeah, I got hurt, but I know why I got hurt. If I did it again, I would do this
Yeah,
different. It wasn't as scary as I thought it was.
Yeah. Do you have all right? So you mentioned about the floating potties. You had some notes. Do you want to
Yeah.
get into that here?
Sure. Yeah.
Do we have time?
So I haven't finished the most current one. I've listened to about most of it today. But I was gonna text you. I'm 25 minutes into a floating podcast, and I haven't heard not one idea yet.
Last week we didn't do any ideas.
So yeah, you never got.
So
to
then,
them.
what's the podcast? If the
This is not my podcast.
no,
That's
but what I'm saying is, if the whole idea is every week you think of something and you big it up, how do you have an episode where you don't have any
Yeah, so
ideas?
I'll tell you what.
I'm 25 minutes into the episode
because
and
we
there's
didn't
like-
have a guest, so we wanted to put something out. So we're like, we'll just talk.
Do the adult babies with him instead of
Yeah,
us?
essentially, he talked about his latest gig.
I know. Well, that's just messing me up because I have like two
and
things.
he comes here with nothing to talk about.
Yeah,
Oh, I have stuff to talk about. I just
that was another thing. I was going to text him like, can you save your
I'm
road
gonna have
stories?
to, I'm
for the
gonna have
adult
to do
babies?
that because, well, I don't think there's gonna be much. Who knows who listens to
in the
it,
future.
right? Because I had two things that happened. I'm sure you listened to it where I'm like, I should talk about this on adult babies.
Yeah.
But do you know?
Instead, you gave it to Jack.
Was this the Kobe Bryant is alive? Story?
No.
Or the
Well, that I want. That's what I want to talk about on this. But we did we were
yeah.
at the Chicks baseball game.
right.
But last week, on Saturday, I did a show out in way upstate, 6-hour drive.
Yes.
Okay.
Like near Buffalo.
It was near Buffalo.
Yeah.
All right, 6 hours to get there. Did the show, 3 comics. We each do 30 minutes. 6-hour drive home. We didn't get home till like after 3 in the morning. Long night.
Yeah.
But like just really fun. Like I don't get to do 30 minutes that often.
Yeah.
But now doing these little road shows, it's nice to kind of
nice.
stretch your
Yeah.
legs. But anyway, really fun show. But on the way home, we're driving and we're in the middle. It's like 1 a.m. We're on like some Pennsylvania highway in the middle of nowhere. And there's this person that is walking on the side of the highway like a zombie. Like, you know that zombie walk?
Yeah.
And it was one of those situations where like if only I saw it and nobody else in the car saw it, I would be like, I just saw a ghost. That's how it was. So creepy.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where like I got chills because it was like, it's probably a drug addict.
Yeah.
You know?
Sounds like it.
A meth head.
A method. But like, where is that person? Like, where did that person come? All white too, like white hair. It was really creepy. I can't even explain it, but it really freaked us all out.
Yeah. That's
Did you
scary.
stop and ask her anything?
You don't, dude. You're going 70 miles down a highway, and it was the weirdest thing. It still sticks with me.
When I was at the person needed help.
Oh, they needed help, all right.
But the thing is, you don't end up on the side of a highway by accident. Like,
Yeah.
That I understand. Circumstances could lead you to positions in your life that you never thought were possible. But walking down the side of a highway in the middle of the night, if you've done enough drugs in your life that lands you there, like, I'm sorry if you need help. Like, I'm not the one. I'm not the one.
Oh, listen, I get it.
You know, like, you got to pay the consequences for
Could
your
have been
actions.
a domestic abuse.
No, this
not
is
on the highway.
clearly. It was either a
No,
ghost.
I'm just guessing.
This was clearly either a ghost or it was drugs.
Clearly, this was obviously a ghost.
Yes, it was.
Obviously a ghost. It's clearly.
This person was also not even looking back. If I'm walking on a highway at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
with nothing around,
There's terror in your face.
also the night was really weird because there was a lot of fog. It was
Even
just,
creepier.
it was so creepy.
Perfect
We're like
night for-
driving through the Pocono Mountains, and it was just this person. It was so creepy.
Perfect night for a ghost. Yeah.
It was a ghost.
Maybe it was. Or an alien.
It could. No, it wasn't an alien. This is like. The thing was, this person almost like lit up. It was like maybe like they were
They
glowing.
were glowing.
Oh, so creepy, so creepy.
That's not what you want.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you know, I had that, but
Well, that's nice.
yeah,
I do have some picks, but before I get into them, I have big news that I'm actually planning. I was telling B on the way here, I'm planning a solo vacation for my 40th birthday next year.
You are.
Yes.
Going to San Diego, the whale's vagina, and going to see JFK's assassination area, Dealey Plaza. I'm going to do a tour.
He knows that San Diego isn't where JFK was shot. He's going to San Diego first,
And then Dallas for a day.
and then he's going to Dallas.
And you're going down just to see
just to see the Dealey
Dealey
Plaza.
Plaza.
He just wants
You
to
have
sit
like
on the
a,
grassy
you have a
knoll.
deep
Obsession,
connection with
yeah. I love it.
JFK.
Yeah. Big into that assassination and everything.
Dude, have you seen the movie JFK a whole bunch of times? I think I remember you
100
said
times.
that.
I've seen
Yeah.
that movie. I watched that movie twice in one day once. I'll never forget. It was 3 hours I watched it.
Yeah.
Fucking 6 hours of that in one day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love you know, I also like dark tourist attractions, and I feel like this is what a way to
And
start it.
what's in San Diego that you're gonna do?
My buddy lives in San Diego.
So it's a solo. It's a solo trip, but
It's a
you could- but
solo
you're meeting
trip, and I'm
somebody.
popping that in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's bouncing around.
He's doing a real. Yeah.
Somebody here?
Neil's pointing out the women's shoes that are on my floor that I forgot.
Oh, you got women's shoes out there?
Yeah,
I didn't even notice.
I forgot. that
Just
they
in
were
time for chicks picks, Neil.
How you doing, Neil?
There. Hi, Neil.
Good to have you.
When are you going? When are you doing that?
February second week in February.
So you're going away. You're going to Jamaica or something soon,
Going to
right?
Jamaica in
Or
a
you going with
couple
bu-
weeks.
You're going with a group.
That I'm going with a big group, and then this one's for my 40th. I'm doing
Okay.
a little personal trip.
We're gonna have to take you out for your birthday, though. You know, we're gonna do a nice dinner. We'll take him. We'll take you out for your birthday. We take him out for his.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do it the same.
You don't tell us when your birthday is.
That's exciting. I've never done like a bunch of guys dinner. I've never had like a group of guy friends. like 1 or 2 friends here and there. I'm actually, when you talk about starting another podcast, I've been thinking about starting another podcast called Prefers the Company of Women, where I just have different women on. Like, I have like a lot of women friends.
Yeah.
And just like, my sisters. And I've always preferred the company of women.
Well, you
so
grew
I'll
up
just
with...
be me. Yeah. I grew up in a house of women. I've just always been way more comfortable with women.
Wait, are you not comfortable with us men?
I've always kind of had a thing like when I'm not that comfortable with men. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not great with men either.
Yeah.
But we're all right.
Yeah, you guys are great.
I'm like, you all right with us now?
Yeah. No, there's certain guys that I feel like, all right, they're cool. Like, they're not going to... I think it's growing up on Long Island and having the personality that I have and being, like, a little bit sensitive and liberal. I just always assume that people are going to...
Make fun of or something?
Like, they're going to say something racist or sexist, and I'm going to have to overlook it. Like, if I invest in somebody and they say something shitty, then I feel like I'm going to have to be like... either have to end this relationship or
This is now a waste of my time.
Or I'm gonna say something like I can't be open about who I am because they're gonna like be like, yeah, what are you, a pussy?
Yeah,
And like, I guess a little bit.
But you don't feel that way around us, right?
No, you guys made me feel like you guys are,
because we're not manly men.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't know whether to take that as a compliment but no, yeah, I do. I like that. I'm glad
I
you
take
like
it as a
this.
compliment.
So what do you got? What are your picks then?
I got good ones this
he's
week.
got this week. He's got good ones.
I'm very
So
excited.
I might actually
about
watch
these.
them this
Brace
time.
up.
I feel like yeah.
One of them, I don't think I'm positive I didn't pick it. I've talked about this movie so much. I was like, oh, did I make it a pick already? But it's called Jerry and Marge Go Large. And it's on Paramount. It's with Bryan Cranston and Annette Bening, who are both fantastic in it. Bryan Cranston plays a retiree who winds up finding a loophole in the lotto and how to beat the lotto and win ridiculous. It's a true story too.
Oh yeah.
And he winds up winning a shit ton of money, but he gets his whole town involved and like helps everybody in the town out. And then there's this guy from Harvard that also figures out the same loophole. And there's a little, issue with that. But it was a great movie. Bryan Cranston is phenomenal in it.
I'm gonna watch that tonight while I'm walking.
And it was like it's not usually like I'm more gloom and doom movies and shit. I like it's kind of a happy.
He's very
one.
proud that it's a
positive.
feel-good movie.
Yeah.
But this is followed by something that is dark, deeply fucked up. It's called Take Care of Maya. Now, this is a doc about how a ton of families are accused of medical child abuse and how hard it is to fight the big corporations. And it goes into like this one deep story, like one story very deeply. And it's just about how their daughter had a rare disease and they had a couple doctors who knew what it was.
What was the disease?
I forget what it was called, but it's like something they find in girls around 9 and 11 years old. They said
Periods. Yeah.
The disease.
But she gets like these pains. Her fucking legs start to face in, so like she can't move. She was in like a wheelchair, and they prescribed her K, like that's ketamine, and that was helping her. When they brought her to her, she had like one issue on there was a hurricane one night. She had to go to an ER. She goes because they're giving her K. The regular hospital didn't think like kid should be getting prescribed this, and basically they wind up taking the kid away for months, and it's about the whole battle to get it back. It was really good though, and the shit apparently happens a lot more than people think. But I don't know. It's called Take Care of Maya.
This is a true story as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is an actual doc.
Oh, this is the doc you saying?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Right. No, you did say that. Yeah.
Both of these were recommended to me from a good friend of mine, Natasha Patty, and I told her I'd give her credit on these, and they were both excellent. One's a
Natasha
little
Patty?
dark,
Is that a full name or is that a nickname?
That's her full name.
I would prefer to be friends with her than you guys.
And the last one is a new movie, Blackberry, that's on Amazon. I rented it last night.
It's kind of funny, right? It's like
It's hysterical, but
Yeah.
it was really good. And I keep on forgetting his name. Who's the guy who plays Dennis in It's Always Sunny?
yeah.
I don't know his
remember
name.
either.
I
but
forget his
saw it.
fucking name, but he's like one of the main guys in it, and he's fantastic in it.
Glenn Howard?
Glenn, yes.
Howerton.
Yeah.
He's great in it. He's absolutely great in it. And the movie was
Yeah, I wanted
awesome.
to see that. Yeah.
It was so good.
Is it about like how they could have been the big
Well, it's about how BlackBerry was the main
'Cause they were
phone
huge
for
at
a
one
while,
point.
and then they basically got taken out by Apple. Apple
Yeah.
came in and they went down the shitter. So they were the leading phone for however many years, and then now there's 0% of them in the market right now.
Wow.
0 Blackberries.
They said
So
0.
there might be there's some people have Blackberries, but that
don't
doesn't
even count.
it doesn't account for anything.
don't
I
count
guess
those.
it doesn't
Is like-
because there's no
like
networks. Like yeah,
point zero zero one?
BlackBerry, they said 0%. There's 0 in the market
Wow.
at the end of it.
Wow.
Which was
there's-
kinda
There's still
interesting to me.
Nokias in the market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, there is.
People
People
still
still really
Snake.
use those old
I don't
ones.
know. I have no evidence to back that up. But I know that I see people with flip phones still. So it's like, what are those? Motorola's probably?
But they all have touch. The whole thing was the guy didn't want to do the touch screen.
Yeah, that was his big
That was
sticking
like
point.
he loved the click. Apparently, the click on the BlackBerry was like a big selling point that
Yeah.
people liked.
Uh-huh.
So he wanted to do like his version of an iPhone was like a keyboard behind a screen. So you're still touch screening it, but you get the click.
Yeah.
It was just like retarded.
Did they eventually come out with a touchscreen?
No, they didn't really. No, they didn't. They
They
never
actually
came
went
out
out of business.
Yeah, they basically went up.
Remember the
Spoiler.
you remember the what was like the Nextel one? Remember
Oh, the
Nextel?
walkie-talkie.
Oh my god,
that
that
was
was so annoying for
Very dangerous phone to have because like one of your idiot friends would be like,
that-
"Hey, whatever."
We
the hell
would do
they
that
say.
all the time.
Yeah, that's legit. Like if I'm remembering that correctly, right? Like somebody could just say whatever they want. At
if
any
you
point,
didn't
would
have
come
it
out
on
of your phone.
if you didn't have it on silent, you
Oh.
could do it so you didn't have. But if you do
Okay.
test people, if you had it up and you just said something, they're gonna get chirped and fucking.
It was like a bunch of 18-year-olds with CB radios where you could just like, "Hey, asshole."
Yeah,
I did whatever.
yeah. A lot of contractors had them. I feel like you'd always see them on like
Yeah,
big
yeah.
burly men.
That's one of those things that the idea of it is good. Like it is feasible for certain things, like quick. You just but
Yeah.
then you realize how ridiculous it gets.
I mean, I had one for a little while. When
Oh, I
just-
loved it.
did
I had
too.
one.
I kind of want that right now.
I would
that I'm
I would
thinking
do
about
it again now.
How fun
It
would
should be
it
an
be?
app.
Create an app.
Do they have walkie-talkie apps though? Like if you have other people who have the app, you could
My brother-in-law
maybe not with the chirp, but
bought
Yeah,
walkie-talkies.
but if you had notifications on
for
the app,
kids.
Yeah, and then like he gave one to me so we could walkie-talkie, and like he lives in Iceland. Like it's far away from.
Does it
what-
work?
Didn't work at all.
Oh, wait, if that
Didn't
worked,
work at
that
all.
would
It'd be cool.
Awesome.
But like, how do you get that technology? I would
You
like.
got to get like a fireman's one, and even those were shitty. They found out in 9/11 they were awful. They had to like redo
Oh, yeah?
the whole thing. Yeah,
well,
there was a lot of communication issues during 9/11.
a lot of communication issues with the adult babies text thread going on.
Wait, what?
No, it's just lack of response.
Lack of response by him.
No, no. There's just like not a lack of response, but like hey, you doing the podcast? Yeah, hours
I know.
later. Yeah, we do the podcast. It doesn't. I don't.
Well,
care. It doesn't
you know
matter to me
why?
as long
I
as it's
usually
before.
respond. You don't
Because-
respond.
But
I always
Yeah,
make
but
sure I
everybody's always
respond
doing it.
But
quickly
today I
Ryan.
did, and I called him separately because he wasn't responding because he drives.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, what,
Yeah, it was all of us drive, so I always assume.
Oh wow, I didn't respond at all today.
No, that's why
I didn't realize that. I didn't see it.
he's in his own world
Yeah.
now that he's going solo traveling.
Yeah.
Have
Have you ever traveled alone before?
No, this is actually B's. Not that he told me, but he was always doing it and saying it was awesome. So it was him and another one of my friends travels. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking do it.
In a way, he's been traveling his whole life alone.
Mm-hmm.
But this is his first time leaving the city alone.
on a flight alone.
Yeah.
You are
I'm gonna go on an
right?
all plane all by
I told him
myself.
though. I told him I know we're wrapping up, but I told him I said write down everything because he forgets things. Like I have conversations with him throughout the week that I need to like. I'm like I need to remember this because he's gonna forget. He gets himself into things
Yeah.
every other day, so I want him to like almost keep a journal
You know
of his
what's
time.
fun?
I'm
I went,
good
so I went to Savannah last year alone.
Okay.
I would like to do that.
Yeah, it was he doesn't like the city.
Oh,
He-
no, I genuinely had snot in my nose.
Neil's here though. Neil's in the background. By the way.
Yeah, Neil is here.
We didn't bring him up all podcast, so we had to show up.
That's what happens.
Yeah, he was
if we
listening
don't
outside.
bring up Neil on the podcast, he shows up and he snorts behind you.
we went an hour without mentioning his name, Neil Pierce.
And then he popped in.
Lesson to you.
Yeah. As I was on my flight there, I posted on Instagram in a story. I said, should I document this whole trip like in my stories and like update my stories constantly, or leave my phone alone and just enjoy the time that I'm here? And then I made like a vote. I let people like vote on like what should I do.
What'd they say?
It was like most people like, yeah, post. You know, a couple people were like, no, don't post. And I was insulted. I was like, fuck you. Like, you tell me not to post. While I'm there. Like, I asked, but I was insulted. So I posted a lot of stories while I was there. Like I kind of kept track. But as I was doing it, I'm like, this just seems like overkill. But I didn't post that much. You know, I post a few times a day. You think about how many hours are in a day if you post a few times. But I look back now, and like I made like a story highlights out of it. So if I look back, and I looked through the highlights of it the other day, and I'm like, this is pretty cool. Like it's my notes. I kept my journal. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that I ate at that place. Like I took a picture of all the places I ate and the things that, you know, and yeah.
I'm
And
going
it's
to
like
document this whole thing, and I also want to try and recreate some of Lee Harvey Oswald's day.
Oh,
Lee
Jesus.
Harvey Oswald's day, and make like a short film.
You're gonna get to the bottom of it.
Like
short
Chick
film.
is Lee
Very
Harvey
generous.
Oswald.
Very generous if you go to a short film. You're going to sit on the grassy knoll and take a picture of yourself.
Yeah.
Picture of me. No, I'm going to get video.
Yeah. All right. Well,
right,
listen,
we're
I
good.
think we need to wrap up because
Yeah,
there's
if you made it
another,
this
There's another
far.
podcast
there's
coming
another,
into the
another podcast happening
Adult
after
Baby
this.
Studios is being overtaken with another podcast. I should name this.
You should. Well,
Studio.
you could put it in there. Guys, if you made it this far,
Thank you for listening. Until the next time.
All right.
we appreciate you.